You guys for sticking with us. With me, as always, Phil Powell, Isaiah, Ezra Hines. I'm so sorry, bro. I've just been looking at the roster, and Isaiah's team is just so bad. But Ezra, how are you feeling today?
This is a cry for help. My fantasy team is struggling. Please help me.
Yeah, it really is. And Phil, how about yourself?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm upset I'm not in the top five, but hey, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish the race.
At least you're not Ezra. And speaking of top five, we got Mr. Top One in both rankings that we're going to be looking at, Tyler Brownrigg and our producer. How are you doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be in front of the camera for bets this time around. And I'm excited to talk about my fantasy team that I was very pleasantly surprised is ranked so high.
Yeah, so one thing you know about Tyler is that he'll hold things over your head, whether it's him being a day older than me or the fact that he's ranked first in just every category, which I'm sure isn't going to last, right?
I'm the best.
No. So we're going to start off with ESPN's final standing projections of our league. Let's start off with number 5. That's going to be myself, Young Web Courses. We love that name. Everyone loves that name, right?
Yeah, I actually do. I actually
Okay.
I don't mind it.
You sound like an off-brand SoundCloud rapper. I mean that in the best way possible.
I understand. No, my thing in middle school was Young Manage Back was a whole other thing. But my team is being led off by Justin Jefferson. I was lucky enough to get the number 1 pick. I'm also accompanying him with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, James Conner, and Deontay Johnson. Talk.
I just wanted to make sure y'all heard that right. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, who both have the same bye week in bye week 13.
Week 13. I think it's Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all have week 13 buys.
I need to make sure and check that I have you week 13 because that is going to be the
It's Dom.
easiest
It's
blowout.
Dom.
I believe it's Dom, yes.
It's Dom. Yeah. But Tyler, I want to ask you, what do you think of how my team is looking as of now? Because I'm planning on changing things around, but just as of now.
Your team all around it's a good roster, but obviously the big thing is you taking Josh Allen and Lamar with back-to-back picks.
I love Lamar so much.
You have monopolized the quarterback market by having 2 of the top 5 QBs on your team.
He understands.
So it's pretty easy to predict that you're going to try and make a big trade somewhere down the line to try and boost your team to make that playoff push near the end of the season.
Of course. And speaking of big trade, we're going to move on to Mr. Camden Mowry. My armpits stink. Of course, his team is led by Kyle Pitts. He's also got Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, and Aaron Jones. He's got a handful of running. Phil, how do you think he's going to pan out the rest of the season?
Honestly, so Kyle Pitts last year, of course, was a disappointment for everybody, including me. I released him. I'm sorry. I didn't even trade for somebody. I released him. Devontae Adams will be definitely a key player for his team. When it comes to Kyle Pitts, though, I mean, he does have Desmond Ridder, and also who on the Falcons is also Bijan Robinson. I'm sorry. Which I also believe he would take most of the carries.
He was
honestly.
Eighth. He was taking 8th.
He was taking 8th?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Kyle Pitts' numbers will definitely go up from last year, but they still won't be at the elite tight end level. So, I mean, is he going to be a key player? I mean, if you need a tight end, yeah, but I wouldn't taking him.
Dalton Schultz.
I got Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. No, I have him.
Oh, I'm talking about another league.
Goofy.
Yeah. But, yeah, honestly, I think Kyle Pitts is probably – I'll take him out of the top, all the tight ends. I'll put him probably at, like, 8th or 9th to me. That's me personally.
And, Ezra, I'm going to ask you, out of Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown, Devontae averaging more fantasy points, or at least projected to, versus A.J. Brown being in a better offensive position with a more reliable quarterback. If you were to trade for Camden out of those 2 wide receivers, who would you want out of them 2?
100% Devontae.
Okay.
We're talking about A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's looking to get – A.J. Brown just had probably the ceiling of his career last season. Like, that was probably the best we'll see of A.J. Brown. He's probably going to do a little bit worse. I'm not saying he's going to go, like, way, way, way bad, but, like, he's going to take it down just a smidge. And also, he does have Devonta Smith playing on the other side, who is looking like he can definitely compete for wide receiver 1. And, of course, you have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. Jalen Hurts loves to throw the ball, but he also loves to run the ball a lot, so he might not get as many targets this season. So I would say I'm taking Devontae Adams
be careful
first.
About that. There was the same similar situation when it was Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Everybody thought Juju could have been number 1. But as soon as Antonio Brown left, Juju could not fill them shoes. So A.J. Brown, I feel like, is helping Devontae Smith game big time.
Devonta Smith was there before A.J. Brown, though, and he was playing really, really well. A.J. Brown obviously was just a better wide receiver, so he's starting to get more targets. But in this case, Devontae Adams is quite literally going to get every target on the Raiders because they don't even have Darren Waller anymore. So that's easy.
With that being said, I'll just move into 3rd place real quick. This one caught us all by surprise, and Tyler, I'm going to get your opinions on this, but Lexi's losing lineup, she auto-drafted, if I'm not mistaken, the entire time.
She auto-drafted every single pick.
Doesn't count.
Tyler, I'm going to pitch this one to you. Lexi's currently sitting at third, right? Just how it is, sure, whatever, we'll take it. Where do you think she's going to be at the end of the season?
So her team is very interesting because, again, she auto-drafted. So what that does is it just drafts best player available, with her best player being Travis Kelce, who is
injured,
maybe might not play tonight. We will see. But an auto-drafted team, they always have these great talented players that we see, but the issue is depth. If Travis Kelce gets injured long-term or more of her running backs, I would be concerned if I was Lexi. You have a great piece in Travis Kelce that you can trade if you need to answer that depth problem.
I'll take him.
You shouldn't trade him, but
if your season is like tanking and it's just going awful,
you have a good asset, yeah.
So I'm concerned with that. So I think this third projection is a little generous from ESPN's standpoint.
Yeah, and Tyler, I'll keep it on your side real quick. Someone else who's currently sitting at second place, who I think could take it the whole way, whatever. Ty Patton, team name Monkey D. Leave it at that. He's currently sitting at second. Tyler, considering his experience in football and in fantasy and just overall knowledge of the sport, do you think Ty has the potential to stay in the top 3 throughout the entirety of the season?
I would say for certain Ty is the biggest fantasy mind that I know. I remember last year he had this notebook of just pages of all these fantasy stats.
I remember that.
And his draft was super underrated in my opinion. He had a lot of great value picks. Though my biggest concern is with his first round pick taking the rookie Bijan Robinson. Now, it is a bit of an unknown. Now, of course, the Falcons, they are a run-first team. But I'm worried. Will Tyler Algier be taking away some of those goal line touches? He won't be getting his touchdowns. I think that maybe we're giving a little too much credit to Bijan. Now, of course, I'm a little biased. He is a Texas player. I hate Texas. But I remember a few years ago, Clyde Edwards-Helaire got a lot of the same hype. And I don't think it'll be that kind of bust, but I'm just cautiously optimistic, I would say.
Yeah, and Tyler, well, Texas hates you as well. And now that we're talking about
Boomer
Tyler,
Sooner, baby.
number 1 projected, actually in standings and in just draft grades overall, is Tyler Brownrigg. But I'm not going to let you talk about it because we're not going to have you gas up yourself on the show. That's not what this is about.
Not.
Ezra, I'm going to kick it to yourself. Saquon Solo, the name of his team, obviously was Saquon Barkley and Patrick Mahomes. What do you think of his team?
I can't remember what pick Tyler had in the draft. What pick did you have?
I had the 12th overall
The
pick.
12th pick, getting Saquon Barkley at the 12th pick is very, very, very good value. I have to admit it, unfortunately. And also, of course, getting best quarterback in the league does also help very well. I also noticed he had Mark Andrews on his team. He also has a couple sleeper players, Isaiah Pacheco, Brandon Ayuk. Deion Jackson's going to be getting a lot of reps for the Colts this season.
I love this. This is great. They're just singing my praises.
All right, I can stop whenever you want.
Let's actually go to the other side of the coin with last place. I don't know if Isaiah knows, but I mentioned it before. CDs, TDs, and he doesn't even have a CD Lamb. Just ticks me off. He's got Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, T. Higgins, Sam Howell, and also Jonathan Taylor, but he's hurt. He's got DJ Shark. I like that name. Junior, he's hurt. And Desmond Riddler, who might as well be hurt.
Riddler.
Yeah. And just to go over ESPN's draft grades of just how we did, Tyler's number 1.
We don't need to talk
no
about it.
We don't
surprise
need to talk about it.
there.
Take a seat, buddy. Take a seat.
Yeah,
Should be number 2, but
Maddie Glass, team name Joe Buck yourself. Sitting at
Hope
second.
she's proud of that one.
Mason Meowers, you know who that is, sitting at third. 4th place is Camden. My armpits stink. We love that. And then 5th place, yours truly, Young Web Courses. And actually last in ESPN grades.
We don't need to talk about it.
We should. We can extend the show.
I had the last pick in the draft. I got every pick.
And everyone
I wanted
took your
taken
players.
From me.
Boo hoo.
Yes, correct.
So
Maddie
sad.
He looked like
No,
Ken Dorsey.
Maddie has a full team of my players by far.
And she's
very
there's,
true.
I wanted Jahan Dotson. I wanted Brian Robinson. Those are all it annoys me. It annoys me so much.
Yeah, Ezra's had a rough weekend to say the least.
Yeah.
But